Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever encountered a person who made you feel small, belittled, or unworthy of your true potential? A person who thrived on controlling and manipulating the emotions of those around them. I'm talking about narcissists, the individuals whose self-centeredness knows no bounds, whose egos demand constant validation, and whose emotional games can leave us feeling drained and disillusioned. But today I want to talk about something powerful. I want to talk about how you can make a narcissist regret everything. The first step in this journey begins with recognizing your worth. Understand this: your value is not defined by another person's actions or opinions. Narcissists may try to make you feel inferior, but in reality, they are projecting their own insecurities. When you know your worth and stand firm in your self-respect, you will no longer be susceptible to their manipulation. Next, we must set healthy boundaries. A narcissist will try to invade your personal space, cross boundaries, and manipulate your emotions for their gain. But when you learn to say no and establish clear limits, you take control. Boundaries are a powerful tool that teaches others how to treat you, and a narcissist cannot function without the freedom to exploit you. One of the most important principles in dealing with narcissism is emotional independence. A narcissist thrives when they can provoke a reaction from you, especially when it involves anger, fear, or pain. But when you refuse to give them that reaction, when you respond with calm, reason, and strength, you strip them of their power over your emotions. Another key to making a narcissist regret their behavior is to remove yourself from their drama. Narcissists live for chaos, creating situations where they are the center of attention. But when you step away from their games, when you refuse to engage in their emotional turmoil, they are left with nothing. And that's when they start to realize their control over you is slipping away. Now, I challenge you to live with purpose. When you know what you are meant to achieve in life, when you are committed to your goals, the narcissist's attempts to distract or undermine you become irrelevant. A person with a clear sense of purpose is unstoppable. And that power will frustrate a narcissist because it shines a light on their emptiness. Do not seek validation from anyone, especially from a narcissist. They cannot offer genuine support or praise because they are incapable of thinking beyond themselves. When you stop seeking their approval, you break the chains of dependence that keep you tethered to their toxic behavior. Moreover, empower others. Narcissists are solitary in their pursuit of self-gain, but by lifting others up, you demonstrate a strength that they cannot comprehend. When you surround yourself with a network of support and generosity, you make the narcissist's self-centeredness look insignificant. In moments of provocation, remember that it is vital to respond, not react. Narcissists thrive on reactions, on creating emotional outbursts. But when you respond with measured wisdom and grace, you reflect a strength they cannot understand. They will be left questioning why they no longer have control over your emotions. At the same time, be unpredictable. Narcissists like to predict your behavior, but the moment you stop playing by their rules, they lose their grip. Show them that you will not be controlled. When you behave unpredictably, they are left trying to figure out how to manipulate you, but they can't. And that confusion becomes a form of power you wield over them. Finally, the most powerful way to make a narcissist regret their actions is to let your success speak for itself. When you rise above their negativity, when you excel in your personal and professional life, you expose the futility of their attempts to tear you down. They can't deny your achievements, and as they watch your success unfold, they will begin to regret every attempt they made to undermine you. You see, my friends, the key to making a narcissist regret everything is not to fight them with their own tactics, but to rise above them. To walk with strength, integrity, and purpose, unshaken by their games and unbothered by their criticisms. When you take back your power, when you live in your truth, you render their behavior irrelevant. They will regret every moment they spent trying to diminish your light. Recognizing your worth is the first and most powerful step in overcoming the influence of a narcissist. It begins with understanding that your value is not determined by anyone else's perception of you, especially someone who seeks to diminish your sense of self. Often, narcissists will try to manipulate or devalue others to inflate their own sense of importance. They thrive on creating doubt in the minds of those around them, hoping that by doing so, they can keep others off balance and under their control. But when you recognize your own worth, You become immune to their tactics. You must remember that your worth is intrinsic. It's not based on how others treat you, how much attention you receive, or whether or not you meet certain external expectations. It is rooted in your unique qualities, your potential, and your contributions to the world around you. When you understand that your value comes from within, no external force, no matter how persuasive or manipulative, can define who you are. Recognizing your worth also means respecting yourself enough to walk away from situations that diminish your value. Narcissists may try to convince you that you're not good enough or that you need their validation to feel complete. But once you realize that you don't need their approval to affirm your worth, you gain the power to disengage from their toxic influence. This self-respect allows you to set boundaries, assert your needs, and walk confidently in the direction of your dreams. This recognition doesn't come from external achievements or others' praise, though both can be wonderful. It comes from understanding that you are valuable simply because you exist. It comes from embracing your flaws as well as your strengths, accepting that you are a work in progress, but that progress doesn't diminish your inherent worth. The narcissist game is to convince you that you need them in order to feel valuable, but when you recognize your worth, you no longer need their approval or their validation. You are enough just as you are. The more you embrace and honor your worth, the more you become an unstoppable force. No one, especially a narcissist, can take away the power of knowing who you truly are. And when you no longer allow their negative energy to affect you, their control starts to unravel. Recognizing your worth is not just about self-esteem, it's about reclaiming your power and putting yourself in a position where you can live authentically, with purpose, and without fear of being diminished by the opinions or actions of others. Setting healthy boundaries is one of the most essential actions you can take to protect your well-being and regain control over your life, especially when dealing with a narcissist. Narcissists have a tendency to invade personal spaces, exploit emotional vulnerabilities, and push the limits of others without regard for their feelings or needs. They often blur the lines between what is acceptable and what is harmful, expecting others to accommodate their desires while disregarding their boundaries. But when you set clear and firm boundaries, you communicate to them and to yourself that you are no longer willing to accept such behavior. Boundaries are not just rules, they are expressions of self-respect and self-care. They are a declaration that you understand your needs, you value your time, and you won't allow anyone to undermine your mental, emotional, or physical well-being. Setting boundaries requires a deep level of self-awareness and confidence, and it can be uncomfortable at first. The narcissist will resist your boundaries because they are accustomed to manipulating or controlling people to get what they want. However, when you establish boundaries and stand firm, you are teaching them that you are not an object for their exploitation. The key to setting healthy boundaries is being clear and consistent. A narcissist may try to test these boundaries repeatedly, pushing you to compromise or let them slip. This is when your consistency becomes crucial. You must enforce your boundaries every time they are challenged. It's not enough to say no once, you must follow through with actions that match your words. For example, if you set a boundary that you won't engage in toxic or manipulative conversations, then you must walk away or disengage every time they try to pull you back into their drama. Over time, they will begin to understand that their manipulative tactics no longer work. Boundaries also require you to be comfortable with saying no. Narcissists often operate on the assumption that they can make demands and expect immediate compliance. When you say no, you are asserting your right to make decisions based on your values and priorities, not theirs. Saying no does not mean you are being selfish or unkind. It simply means you are protecting yourself. You are saying that your time, energy, and emotional well-being are important, and you will not allow them to be drained or disrespected. Setting healthy boundaries also means recognizing that you cannot change the narcissist. No amount of reasoning, pleading, or trying to get them to see things from your perspective will make them more empathetic or self-aware. Instead, you focus on what you can control, your own behavior, and how you allow others to treat you. Boundaries are not about changing the other person, but about protecting your own peace and well-being. In the process of setting boundaries, you may face some resistance or backlash. Narcissists do not like being told no, and they may try to guilt, shame, or intimidate you into compliance. But it's important to remember that enforcing your boundaries is not an act of aggression toward them, it is an act of self-preservation. You must learn to stay calm, clear, and unyielding. If they escalate or react negatively, let it be a reflection of their inability to respect others, not your failure to set limits. When you set healthy boundaries, you take control of your life. You remove the narcissist's power to invade your space, manipulate your emotions, or control your actions. Over time, these boundaries allow you to regain your strength, protect your mental and emotional health, and build a life where you are no longer a victim of their toxic behavior. Boundaries aren't about making the narcissist regret their actions. They're about empowering yourself to live authentically and free from the shackles of manipulation and control. Embracing emotional independence is a powerful way to free yourself from the manipulative grip of a narcissist. Narcissists thrive on controlling the emotions of others, often using guilt, fear, or admiration as tools to bend people to their will. They want to provoke reactions from you, either to gain attention or to create confusion and instability in your life. However, when you learn to embrace emotional independence, you take away their most effective weapon. You begin to understand that your emotional state is yours to control, and no one, especially a narcissist, has the right to dictate how you feel or react. The first step in embracing emotional independence is recognizing that you are responsible for your emotions, not anyone else. Narcissists often create situations where you feel compelled to react, whether through anger, sadness, or frustration. They manipulate circumstances to keep you emotionally charged because it allows them to feel powerful or in control. But when you realize that you can choose your responses, you regain control over the situation. You no longer need to engage in emotional battles or feed into their drama. You are not a puppet to their emotional strings, and once you fully grasp this, you begin to feel the freedom that comes with emotional independence. This doesn't mean that you become cold or detached, but rather that you choose not to allow others, especially narcissists, to have the power to destabilize your emotional equilibrium. For example, if a narcissist tries to provoke you with hurtful words or actions, instead of reacting in anger or frustration, you pause. You take a breath, evaluate the situation, and choose to respond calmly. This shift in your mindset is crucial, as it signals to both yourself and the narcissist that you are no longer emotionally swayed by their manipulations. Emotional independence also involves understanding that your emotions are valid, but that they don't always need to be expressed in reaction to others. It's easy for a narcissist to provoke a response because they know how to trigger your vulnerabilities. When you develop emotional independence, you stop giving them the satisfaction of a reaction. You begin to recognize that you have the power to choose how you express your feelings. Instead of reacting impulsively, you take the time to process your emotions in a way that serves your best interests. A key element of emotional independence is self-awareness. When you become more aware of your triggers, those things that push you into emotional turmoil, you can begin to detach yourself from those triggers. This allows you to prevent the narcissist from manipulating your feelings and helps you protect your peace. For example, if you know that certain comments from the narcissist cause you to feel insecure or angry, you can prepare yourself mentally to remain calm or disengage before those feelings can take hold. This level of awareness helps you stay grounded, even when faced with their emotional games. As you develop emotional independence, you also begin to build resilience. You become more capable of handling life's ups and downs without allowing external factors, especially a narcissist's actions, to dictate your emotional well-being. This strength comes from knowing that you are complete within yourself and that no one else can define your emotional state. Narcissists often seek to make others feel inferior or dependent on their approval, but emotional independence frees you from this cycle. You no longer need their validation, nor do you allow their negativity to define your mood or actions. One of the most important aspects of emotional independence is self-compassion. When you stop relying on the narcissist for emotional validation, you begin to show up for yourself in a way that nurtures your mental and emotional health. You become your own source of comfort and reassurance, learning to trust your instincts and to care for your emotional well-being without seeking approval from others. You realize that you are enough just as you are, and that your emotional health is a priority that cannot be compromised by the whims of anyone else. Removing yourself from the drama of a narcissist is one of the most effective ways to regain control of your life and preserve your mental and emotional well-being. Narcissists are masters at creating chaos and conflict around them. They thrive in environments where they can stir up emotions, provoke reactions, and keep everyone focused on their needs and desires. Their world is one where attention is constantly diverted to their latest crisis or emotional outburst, and they draw others into their drama to maintain the illusion of importance. The more you engage in this drama, the more you feed into their sense of control. But when you choose to remove yourself from their chaos, you take away their power. At the core of this decision is the understanding that you don't have to participate in their emotional games. Narcissists may try to pull you into their world of manipulation, guilt, and false narratives. But when you recognize that their drama is a tool to keep you emotionally tethered to them, you can begin to detach. By removing yourself from the situation, you avoid becoming another pawn in their quest for validation and control. You stop letting their emotional outbursts dictate your behavior or state of mind. One of the most powerful steps in disengaging from a narcissist drama is simply recognizing that their problems are not your problems. Narcissists often create a reality where they are the center of attention and they expect others to revolve around their emotional needs, however unrealistic or exaggerated they may be. By stepping back, you free yourself from their world of constant drama and focus on your own life. You no longer allow their crises to dominate your thoughts, energy, or time. This act of detachment is a form of self-preservation, as it keeps you from being emotionally drained by their endless demands and manipulation. The more you distance yourself from their drama, the more you begin to see it for what it truly is, an attempt to draw you into their toxic cycle of attention-seeking behavior. Narcissists need to be the center of focus, and they will use whatever means necessary to keep everyone's eyes on them. They may play the victim, escalate trivial issues, or create conflict out of nowhere, all in an effort to manipulate and control the people around them. But when you recognize that this behavior has nothing to do with you and everything to do with their need for attention and control, you can begin to disengage from it. You realize that you are under no obligation to participate in their self-serving narrative or play a role in their ongoing emotional theatrics. Removing yourself from their drama also means establishing a boundary of emotional detachment. Narcissists often rely on others to react emotionally to their behavior, whether it's anger, frustration, or guilt. They want to provoke an emotional response that feeds into their need for validation. When you refuse to give them the reaction they want, you effectively break their power over you. This may feel difficult at first, especially if you are accustomed to engaging with them or responding to their emotional triggers. But over time, as you learn to stay calm, non-reactive, and focus on your own emotional state, you take away the narcissist's ability to control your mood or your actions. Another key to removing yourself from their drama is to refuse to get involved in their conflicts. Narcissists often escalate minor disagreements or misunderstandings into major battles in order to create chaos. They may involve you in these disputes, forcing you to take sides or offering you ultimatums that put you in an uncomfortable position. By refusing to engage, you demonstrate that you will not participate in their emotionally exhausting games. This refusal to take part in their conflict sends a clear message that you are not interested in their drama and will not allow it to interfere with your life. By stepping away from their drama, you also start to reclaim your time and energy. Narcissists often drain their victims by requiring constant attention, emotional support, and validation. They demand so much of your emotional resources that it leaves little room for you to focus on your own life goals and well-being. When you remove yourself from their chaos, you free up valuable emotional energy that you can invest in your own growth and happiness. You start to reclaim your peace, your time, and your emotional stability, allowing you to live a life that is not dominated by someone else's need for attention and control. In some cases, removing yourself from their drama may require physical distance as well. This could mean limiting contact with the narcissist or even cutting ties altogether if necessary. If the narcissist's behavior is toxic enough to disrupt your life or well-being, you have every right to step away. Walking away from their emotional manipulation may be difficult, especially if you have an emotional attachment or if they try to guilt you into staying involved. However, your mental and emotional health must take priority. By removing yourself from their drama, you are making a statement that you are no longer willing to be a part of a cycle that harms you. Living with purpose is a powerful way to reclaim your life from the destructive influence of a narcissist. Narcissists often seek to dominate the lives of others, creating confusion and self-doubt. They thrive when they can divert attention away from a person's true goals and focus it on themselves and their own needs. But when you choose to live with purpose, you are actively deciding that your life will be guided by your own values, dreams, and aspirations, not by the narcissist's manipulative agenda. When you live with purpose, you become less susceptible to the narcissist's attempts to derail your path. Narcissists often try to create confusion or manipulate your emotions to keep you in a state of uncertainty. But when you are anchored to a clear sense of purpose, you are less likely to be swayed by their behavior. Your sense of direction becomes stronger than the emotional turbulence they might try to stir up. Your goals, your dreams, and your values become the forces that drive you forward, not the narcissist's need for control. Living with purpose also involves learning to say no to things that don't align with your goals. Narcissists will often try to pull you into their world, presenting their problems as your responsibility, demanding that you cater to their needs. But when you live with purpose, you understand that you cannot afford to be distracted by these constant demands. You have to protect your energy and stay focused on what truly matters to you. Saying no is an act of self-respect and an essential part of maintaining your sense of direction. It's not about being selfish, but about ensuring that your life reflects your values and not the whims of someone else. When you live with purpose, you also cultivate resilience. The road to fulfilling your goals is not always smooth, and there will inevitably be setbacks and challenges. Narcissists may try to undermine your confidence or create obstacles to your progress, but your sense of purpose provides the inner strength to push through these difficulties. You are not defined by the narcissist's actions or words, you are defined by your commitment to your own journey. With purpose as your anchor, you can weather any storm and continue moving forward, knowing that your efforts are directed towards something greater than the distractions of toxic people. Living with purpose also means cultivating self-worth. When you know your purpose, you understand that you have value independent of anyone else's opinion or validation. Narcissists often seek to diminish others by making them feel small or unimportant. But when you live with purpose, you know that your worth is not determined by their approval. Your worth comes from the simple fact that you are living authentically, pursuing your passions, and creating a life that is aligned with your true self. This inner confidence makes it much harder for a narcissist to manipulate or control you because you are grounded in the knowledge that you have something far greater to offer than their fleeting praise or criticism. Furthermore, living with purpose creates a ripple effect in your life. As you become more aligned with your goals and values, you attract people who support and inspire you. You begin to surround yourself with individuals who share your vision and encourage your growth. And you start to distance yourself from toxic influences like the narcissist. The more you focus on living authentically, the more you align with people who are on the same path, and the less you allow the narcissist's negativity and manipulation to cloud your world. In living with purpose, you also experience a sense of fulfillment and peace that comes from knowing you are on the right path. The narcissist world of chaos, manipulation, and emotional highs and lows can never provide the deep sense of contentment that comes from living a life true to your values. When you focus on your purpose, you start to feel a deep sense of satisfaction that is not dependent on external validation, but on the knowledge that you are living a life aligned with your true desires. This inner peace becomes your greatest source of strength, making you impervious to the narcissist's attempts to throw you off course. Living with purpose is a way to reclaim your power from the narcissist and take control of your own life. It is about setting a course for yourself that is independent of the toxic influence of others and focused on your own growth, fulfillment, and happiness. When you live with purpose, you are no longer a passive participant in your life, allowing others to dictate your actions or emotions. You are the creator of your own destiny, living each day with intention and focus, knowing that you are building a life that reflects your true self and your highest potential. Not seeking validation is a critical and empowering decision when dealing with a narcissist. Narcissists thrive on the power they gain by controlling others, often manipulating those around them into seeking their approval or validation. They play on insecurities and use praise, criticism, or indifference to keep others dependent on their approval. However, when you choose not to seek validation from anyone, particularly a narcissist, you free yourself from their grip and take back control of your self-worth. The core of not seeking validation is understanding that your worth is not contingent on the opinions or recognition of others. For years, many people, especially those in relationships with narcissists, internalize the idea that their value is dependent on the approval or acceptance of others. Narcissists are often experts at creating this dynamic, making others feel as though they need their praise or recognition to feel validated. However, when you make the decision to stop seeking external validation, you shift your mindset from being reliant on others to recognizing that your value is intrinsic. You are worthy simply because you exist, not because of someone else's approval or perception. By not seeking validation, you begin to break free from the toxic cycle of needing constant reassurance from the narcissist. Narcissists use validation as a tool to control others, offering praise when it benefits them, and withholding it when they want to manipulate or punish. The cycle can be emotionally exhausting as it perpetuates the belief that your worth is tied to their fluctuating mood or behavior. When you stop seeking validation, you stop playing their game. You recognize that their praise or criticism does not define who you are. This shift in perspective creates emotional freedom and shields you from the narcissist's attempts to manipulate your sense of self. Not seeking validation also means learning to trust yourself and your own judgment. Narcissists often try to undermine your confidence and decision-making abilities, convincing you that you need their opinion or approval to make the right choices. However, when you stop seeking external validation, you become more attuned to your own inner wisdom. You trust yourself, your instincts, and your ability to make decisions that align with your values and goals. Your confidence grows, and with it, your ability to stand strong in the face of external pressure, including the narcissist's manipulations. This emotional independence also allows you to build a deeper connection with your true self. When you're no longer focused on gaining the narcissist's approval, you can turn inward and begin to understand who you really are, what you truly value, and what makes you happy. Your identity becomes rooted in your own beliefs and desires, not in how you are perceived by others. This sense of self-acceptance strengthens your resilience, allowing you to navigate life with more clarity and peace. Instead of constantly looking for someone to affirm your worth, you become the source of your own validation. Not seeking validation also means learning to establish boundaries. Narcissists often push against the boundaries of others, seeking to control how they are viewed or how others interact with them. They may use tactics such as guilt, manipulation, or charm to get what they want. But when you stop seeking their validation, you are better equipped to set and enforce healthy boundaries. You become less vulnerable to their attempts to make you feel obligated to meet their needs or to seek their approval. Your boundaries become a reflection of your self-respect, and by upholding them, you send a clear message that your worth is not up for negotiation. A critical part of not seeking validation is recognizing that no one is responsible for your happiness except you. Narcissists often make others feel as though they must cater to their needs or emotions in order to keep the peace or gain their favor. But when you stop seeking validation from them or anyone else, you realize that your happiness is not tied to another person's behavior or acknowledgement. You learn to find fulfillment within yourself, to appreciate your own strengths, and to celebrate your achievements without waiting for anyone else to recognize them. This internal source of happiness is far more stable and long-lasting than any external praise or recognition could ever be. When you no longer seek validation, you also break free from the narcissist's emotional roller coaster. Narcissists are unpredictable, often showering their targets with affection one moment and then withdrawing or criticizing them the next. This instability can leave you feeling insecure and uncertain, constantly seeking their approval to avoid rejection or conflict. But by choosing not to seek validation, you detach from this emotional turbulence. You stop letting their fluctuating opinions control your emotional state, and you start to live with a sense of inner calm and stability. Moreover, not seeking validation encourages you to pursue your own goals and passions, rather than constantly trying to meet the narcissist's expectations. Narcissists often demand that those around them prioritize their needs or desires, and they may subtly or overtly suggest that your worth is based on how well you serve them. However, when you stop seeking their approval, you begin to focus more on your personal goals and dreams. You invest in the things that genuinely matter to you, and you find fulfillment in living authentically without constantly questioning whether the narcissist approves. Choosing not to seek validation is a declaration of self-worth and autonomy. It's a powerful step toward reclaiming your personal power and creating a life that is not defined by the opinions or behaviors of a narcissist. When you stop seeking validation, you stop being controlled by external forces, and you start to live a life that is guided by your own values, purpose, and vision. Your worth is no longer determined by anyone else's approval. It is something you recognize and honor within yourself. This shift in mindset not only protects you from the narcissist influence, but also paves the way for you to live with confidence, authenticity, and emotional freedom. Empowering others is one of the most profound ways to break free from the control of a narcissist and to build an environment where growth, confidence, and mutual respect flourish. Narcissists often seek to isolate and diminish those around them in order to maintain their power and influence. They thrive on keeping people small, making them feel inadequate or dependent on the narcissist for validation. However, when you choose to empower others, you not only dismantle the narcissist's grip, but also create a ripple effect of positivity and strength that can transform your relationships and your environment. Empowering others starts with the belief that everyone has inherent worth and potential. This mindset shifts the focus from competition, comparison, and control to collaboration, support, and encouragement. Narcissists often manipulate their surroundings by creating an atmosphere of scarcity where only one person themselves can shine. In contrast, empowering others means recognizing that success is not a limited resource, and helping others rise does not take away from your own achievements. In fact, the more you lift others up, the more you strengthen the collective and build a sense of community that can resist the toxic influence of narcissism. One of the core elements of empowering others is listening to them. Narcissists often dismiss or belittle the thoughts and feelings of those around them, as they see others as tools to serve their needs rather than individuals with their own unique perspectives. However, when you empower others, you listen with intent, giving them space to express themselves and feel heard. This act of validation is incredibly powerful. It lets others know that their thoughts and feelings matter, that they have a voice, and that they are not defined by the narcissist's need for control or validation. Empowering others also involves helping them recognize their own strengths. Narcissists often undermine the confidence of those around them, either through direct criticism or by subtly making others feel inferior. When you empower someone, you help them see their own value, talents, and capabilities. You encourage them to believe in themselves and to act with courage and conviction. By recognizing and affirming their potential, you help them step into their power, no longer relying on external validation or approval to know their worth. Empowerment also means recognizing that everyone's journey is unique. A narcissist tends to push others to meet their specific standards, often trying to mold people into an image that serves the narcissist's needs. But when you empower others, you honor their individuality and respect their path. You understand that each person has different challenges, goals, and timelines, and you create an environment where those differences are celebrated, not used as reasons for judgment or control. Empowering others involves offering unconditional support that allows them to define their success, their direction, and their pace. Empowering others also requires setting an example through your own actions. Narcissists often seek to control others through manipulation and deceit, using others as a means to an end. In contrast, you empower others by living authentically, showing them what it means to stand in your truth and pursue your purpose with integrity. Your own commitment to personal growth, confidence, and self-respect serves as an inspiration to others. When you live with purpose and act in alignment with your values, you encourage others to do the same, creating a culture of mutual respect and growth. When you empower others, you also help them build resilience. Narcissists often create environments where people are made to feel weak or dependent, but empowerment strengthens others by helping them become more self-sufficient and capable of handling adversity. Through encouragement, constructive feedback, and sharing knowledge, you equip others with the tools they need to overcome challenges. You remind them that they are capable of handling difficulty on their own, and that they don't need the narcissist or anyone else to dictate their worth or abilities. This resilience becomes a shield against the manipulative tactics of a narcissist and helps people create lives where they are no longer victims to external forces. Empowering others fosters a sense of community and unity that undermines the narcissist's efforts to isolate people. Narcissists often create division and competition, turning people against one another to maintain control. But when you empower others, you build connections based on mutual respect, shared values, and collective success. You encourage collaboration rather than rivalry, and you create a network of people who support and uplift one another. This network becomes a powerful force, making it difficult for a narcissist to infiltrate or disrupt the harmonious dynamic that has been created. Empowerment also requires recognizing the potential for growth in others, even when they may not see it themselves. Narcissists often prey on people's weaknesses, reinforcing self-doubt and insecurity. But when you empower someone, you help them see that their limitations are not permanent, and that they have the ability to grow and evolve. You encourage them to challenge their fears and beliefs, to step outside their comfort zones, and to embrace their own potential. By helping others realize that they are capable of achieving more than they thought possible, you help them break free from the narcissist's negative influence. Ultimately, empowering others is an act of radical generosity that can disrupt the narcissist's hold on their environment. When you help others recognize their worth, build their confidence, and achieve their goals, you create a ripple effect of positive energy that can withstand the manipulations and control of any narcissist. By empowering others, you not only enrich their lives, but also create a powerful force for changing your own. You begin to break free from the toxic dynamics of narcissism and create a space where people are supported, respected, and free to become the best versions of themselves. Empowerment is not just about lifting others up, it's about creating a world where people can thrive, live authentically, and realize their full potential independent of the toxic influence of narcissistic control. The ability to respond rather than react is a crucial practice when dealing with a narcissist or anyone who seeks to provoke emotional responses. Narcissists thrive on provoking strong emotional reactions because it reinforces their sense of control and power. They want to see you angry, hurt, or confused because it keeps you engaged in their drama, leaving you vulnerable to their manipulation. However, when you learn to respond instead of reacting, you take back your power and begin to control the direction of your interactions. The first step in choosing to respond rather than react is gaining awareness of your emotional triggers. Narcissists often know exactly what buttons to push, exploiting vulnerabilities or past wounds to elicit emotional reactions. Reacting is instinctive. It's the knee-jerk response to an emotional stimulus. However, reacting from a place of heightened emotion can often make things worse, escalating conflicts and giving the narcissist more ammunition to manipulate or control you. When you choose to respond, you take a step back from your emotions and consider how to handle the situation with intention and calm. Responding, as opposed to reacting, requires a conscious decision to pause. In that brief pause, you create space between the stimulus, the narcissist's words or actions, and your response. This is where your power lies. Instead of immediately firing back or allowing your emotions to dictate your actions, you allow yourself to process the situation and decide on the most effective course of action. This pause is not about ignoring or suppressing your emotions, but rather about choosing how to express them in a way that aligns with your values and your goals, rather than with the narcissist's manipulative agenda. One of the most powerful aspects of responding is remaining composed. Narcissists often want to see you lose your temper or get defensive, as it feeds their need for dominance. When you react impulsively, whether through anger, tears, or frustration, you allow them to control the narrative. On the other hand, responding with composure sends a message that you are unaffected by their attempts to provoke you. It shows that you are in control of your emotions and that you are not easily manipulated. Remaining calm also allows you to think clearly and make decisions that serve your best interests, rather than getting swept up in the emotional turmoil that a narcissist creates. Responding also involves maintaining a level of detachment. Narcissists often try to make personal attacks, questioning your worth, your abilities, or your character. These attacks are designed to make you feel small, inadequate, or insecure, which puts you in a reactive state. However, when you learn to detach from these personal attacks and recognize them for what they truly are, manipulation and projection, you no longer feel the need to defend yourself or prove anything to them. By responding from a place of emotional detachment, you can stay focused on what truly matters to you and avoid becoming entangled in the narcissist's web of accusations or demands. A key part of responding rather than reacting is setting boundaries. Narcissists will often try to push past your limits, testing how much they can get away with before you push back. If you react without thought, you may inadvertently allow them to overstep these boundaries. Responding thoughtfully means being clear and firm about your limits. When you respond to the narcissist, you can assert yourself calmly, reinforcing your boundaries without escalating the situation. You do not need to explain, justify, or argue your boundaries. You simply assert them and remain steadfast. This response shows that you are unwilling to tolerate behavior that does not align with your values or needs. In responding rather than reacting, you also maintain your self-respect. Narcissists often seek to provoke others into degrading behavior, turning the conversation into a battle of insults or accusations. When you react, you risk lowering yourself to their level. You might find yourself saying things you later regret or engaging in arguments that drain your energy and leave you feeling defeated. But when you respond thoughtfully, you maintain your dignity. You choose how to engage and you prioritize your well-being over proving something to the narcissist. Your response reflects your inner strength and integrity, not a need to win an argument or please someone who is intent on diminishing you. Responding also involves focusing on solutions rather than getting lost in the conflict. Narcissists are often more concerned with winning or being right than with finding practical solutions to problems. They thrive on conflict and often stir it up to maintain control. When you respond rather than react, you take the focus away from the narcissist's emotional manipulation and redirect it toward a productive conversation or solution. Even if it's a situation where a resolution isn't possible, you can still maintain your power by choosing to disengage and not get sucked into an emotional spiral. By doing so, you keep your energy focused on what you can control, your own actions and responses. When you respond instead of reacting, you also make space for clarity. Narcissists often create confusion by shifting the narrative or twisting the truth. This can make it difficult to discern what is really happening or to respond appropriately. By taking a step back and responding with clarity, you allow yourself to stay grounded in the truth and avoid being swayed by the narcissist's distortions. When you respond from a place of clarity, you communicate in a way that is direct, honest, and effective without getting lost in the narcissist's attempt to manipulate the situation. A powerful part of responding is knowing when to walk away. Narcissists often thrive on conflict and may not be open to constructive communication or resolution. In these cases, the most empowering response may be to simply disengage. Walking away from the situation or conversation is a response in itself. It sends a strong message that you refuse to engage in unhealthy dynamics and that you are unwilling to be manipulated or controlled. Walking away is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength and self-preservation. The decision to respond rather than react is a tool for maintaining control in your life. Narcissists attempt to destabilize others by provoking emotional responses that make them easier to manipulate. But by mastering the art of response, you take the power away from their tactics and put it back in your hands. This ability to remain composed, assertive, and thoughtful in your responses not only disrupts the narcissist's control, but also fosters a sense of inner peace and confidence. You stop reacting out of fear, anger, or insecurity and begin responding in alignment with your values and your highest self. This shift can be transformative, allowing you to regain your personal power and set a new course for your life, free from the manipulative tactics of those who seek to control you. Being unpredictable is a powerful strategy when dealing with a narcissist. Narcissists thrive on control, and they often rely on their ability to predict the reactions and behaviors of those around them. They use this predictability to manipulate, exploit weaknesses, and gain an advantage. When you become unpredictable, you disrupt their ability to control you, keeping them off balance and preventing them from anticipating your every move. This unpredictability can be a key part of protecting your energy, maintaining boundaries, and regaining your power in any interaction with a narcissist. At the core of being unpredictable is the idea of breaking free from patterns. Narcissists are experts at identifying your triggers and exploiting the emotional patterns they've established over time. If you always respond to criticism with anger, for example, or if you consistently try to please them to avoid conflict, they can easily predict your next move and use it to their advantage. By choosing to be unpredictable, you step outside of these patterns and remove the narcissist's ability to manipulate you based on how you've reacted in the past. You choose to respond differently in ways they didn't expect, leaving them uncertain and unable to predict how you'll behave next. Unpredictability requires emotional self-regulation. One of the most common ways narcissists try to control people is by provoking emotional reactions. They may make cruel or inflammatory comments to see how you'll react, attempting to pull you into their drama. If you consistently react the same way, they learn how to push your buttons to get the result they want. But when you become unpredictable, you stop giving them the same reaction they've grown accustomed to. Instead of reacting with anger or hurt, you might choose silence, humor, indifference, or calm reasoning, things that the narcissist cannot anticipate. This forces them to recalibrate and limits their ability to manipulate your emotional state. The less predictable you are, the more difficult it is for the narcissist to gain control over you. Being unpredictable is not about being erratic or inconsistent for the sake of it. It's about creating situations where the narcissist cannot anticipate your next move or response, even if they try. This unpredictability keeps them on edge, making it harder for them to gain an emotional foothold. For example, if the narcissist tries to provoke you by insulting you or making you feel inferior, instead of reacting with defensiveness or anger, you might choose to disengage entirely, or even take a humorous approach, letting their words roll off your back. This kind of response is often confusing to a narcissist, as it doesn't fit into their established pattern of control. They may try again, but each time they face an unexpected reaction, they lose their ability to predict and manipulate. Part of being unpredictable also involves shifting your behavior based on the situation and not allowing the narcissist to dictate the terms of the interaction. Narcissists often try to control the narrative, making demands, setting expectations, or pushing their agenda onto others. If you become predictable, they will know exactly how you will accommodate them, and they can use this to their advantage. But by being unpredictable, you shift the power dynamic. You can decide when and how to comply with their demands and when to assert your own boundaries or needs. If the narcissist expects you to accommodate them, surprising them by asserting yourself in a calm, firm way can leave them off balance, forcing them to reconsider their tactics. Another benefit of being unpredictable is that it keeps you in control of your energy and emotions. Narcissists feed off the emotional energy of others, often leaving people feeling drained, exhausted, or emotionally overwhelmed. If you are predictable in your reactions, the narcissist can manipulate your emotions, provoking certain responses that keep you on an emotional roller coaster. However, when you are unpredictable, you take control of your emotional energy. You make decisions on your own terms, rather than reacting to their provocations. This helps protect your well-being and ensures that you're not emotionally manipulated or drained by their constant need for attention or control. Being unpredictable also means you are no longer relying on the narcissist's approval or validation. Narcissists often make others feel as though they must follow their lead, constantly seek their approval, or adhere to their expectations in order to be accepted or valued. When you embrace unpredictability, you stop seeking validation from the narcissist. You stop playing their game and follow your own path, regardless of whether or not it aligns with their expectations. You choose your own course of action, and you are no longer bound by the need to please them or conform to their wishes. This strengthens your sense of autonomy and reduces the narcissist's ability to control or manipulate you.